There was nothing much to cheer on in the 1977-78 NHL season for the Minnesota North Stars. They had three coaches. They were well under 500, almost lost 60 games. Were hoping for better days down the road. It did come with the emergence of Bobby Smith and Steve Payne and other key players. This was before the Cleveland merge. But that season, there was a line that was used to the best of their ability. Three elite Swedish players who basically also played for the national teams in their home country. It was unofficially called the Triple King or Triple Crown line. And boys, they brought the talent. And despite the negativity of that season, these three skaters decided that year to do the best of their ability. One led the team in scoring, one was third, and they played on the same line together. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the 1977-78 season in relation to the Stars and the three skaters that gave some scoring punch to the squad. Roland Eriksson, a very good center. He had 60 points that year to lead the team. And 21 goals. Per-Olov Brasar, everybody knows him, is a smooth as silk from Falun, Sweden. 57 points in 77 games. And the very underrated defensive stalwart, Kent-Erik Andersson, who had 18 assists and 15 goals for 33 points in 73 games. Or Ebro. Now, Eriksson from Stora Tuna at the time was only 23. Per-Olov was only 26. And Kent-Erik was 26. And was quite strange. They were one of the three of the most senior players on the squad. Now, Minnesota did not have any offense that year. They only had four players in the 20 goal, more than 20 goals. The great Tim Young and Glenn Sharpley was there, but the big negativity was their defense that year. That year, Brad Maxwell, God bless him, great talent, he was minus 57 on defense. Now, Minnesota entered that season hoping for some stability. The former Montreal Canadian Teddy Harris coached the team for the first 19 games. He was let go. Andre Beaulieu came in, 6-23-3, and then the great Lou Nanne at 17-18-4. Now, Andre Beaulieu was also AC that year for a short while. But like I said, the idea of the Swedish line being put together, I think it was just a stopgap approach. He knew it was going to be a difficult season. Did he know the team was going to lose 53 games? Of course not. But it was a mixture of over-the-hill players with some up-and-coming stars. You had the young Pete Lopresti in net, draft pick, the son of the famous Team USA player. Lou Nanne actually went from being a player to a coach. And the great goalie Gary Smith had his last gasp there. Paul Harrison, the future Toronto Maple Leaf, was there. But the youngsters on the team, including Ron Zanussi, Steve Jensen, Dean Talafus, Pierre Jarry was only 28. The great Harvey Bennett was only 25. And Tom Younghans, we did a previous podcast, the Montreal Canadiens killer, he was there as well. So we always wondered if Minnesota was going to fold. So that led into the merger of Minnesota because of the dual ownership and the bad situation. But when they came together, like I said, Dennis Maruk, Gilles Melange, all the key players joined together, and when you got Bobby Smith and Steve Payne in the draft, like I said, you wouldn't think a Minnesota North Star team without Bobby Smith or Steve Payne, but this was the last gasp of the bad Minnesota North Star. Now, I watched the Triple Crown line, or the Three King line, in several games that year against Montreal and Toronto, and they came on the ice, the opponents would back up. But when they weren't on the ice, they were just taking advantage of them as they could. Really, they were only floating with two lines that year. Although Talafus and Jensen had talent, they didn't have the speed and finesse of Per-Olov and Roland and Kent-Erik. And what was kind of bizarre here, ladies and gentlemen, the idea, you look at Roland Eriksson's career to begin with. He had played in Leksands for a number of years, then came over. He eventually finished his career out west in Vancouver and Winnipeg, but he was only a shining star in the NHL for 3 seasons before he went back to the Bundesliga and in the Swedish league, where he wrapped up his career. Now, he was an 8th round draft pick, and boys, that was a steal. Now, Per-Olov was not drafted. He, again, came from Lexens IF, played a number of seasons, but then found himself, just like his former linemate in Vancouver, he also scored 20 goals over there. But he had one of the best rookie seasons for the Stars of the 1970s. And talking about Kent-Erik, Kent-Erik was, again, a big star with Farstads for a while. Played a number of years with Minnesota Rangers and went back to his home team. But what really stood out for me, he was one of the better defensive players of his era. With Minnesota in 1981, that playoff run, he was +8 in the regular season while only scoring 17 goals, and he drove his opponents nuts. Now he played again 5 seasons with the Stars, 2 with the Rangers, and again a very, very strong two-way player who rarely made a mistake. But you gotta look at this. These were 3 players that came from league rivals in Sweden, or longtime rivals, who joined together for the national team, and it really worked out. I would love to see this line in the Montreal Canadiens at Quebec Nordiques in the early 80s, in Vancouver, again, where 2 to 3 went over. But it was unheard of to have a full Swedish line in the NHL at that time, other than Hedberg, Nielsen, 2/3, of course, with Bobby Hull. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a Minnesota North Star fan, this is a little tribute to you, where we in Canada really respected the Triple Crown or the Triple King line. We really did, and we're hoping for better things. Now, did we know that you were going to lose 53 games and get Bobby Smith in the draft and later Steve Payne? Of course not. Did we know from the 78 season, within 2 years, you would knock off the Montreal Canadiens in the playoffs? That's how much respect we had. We had no idea, because the upheaval of the 78 season led into the once Bobby Smith arrived, just like Sidney Crosby, the fortunes completely changed, and the merge changed as well. So 2 teams together is better than 1. We found it out with the Minnesota North Stars of the late 70s, early 80s. And don't forget, within 3 years, they came within 4 games of winning the Stanley Cup. So that's the story of the Minnesota North Star Triple Crown or Triple King line. We like what we're doing here. Let us know when to like, comment, and subscribe. And to the Minnesota North Star fans who finally won the Stanley Cup in Dallas after several kicks in the can, we really respect you. We wouldn't give you all the former Montreal Canadiens over the years if we didn't respect you. That's what every Montreal fan likes, the Minnesota North Stars and Dallas Stars and Minnesota Wild. We have a big connection between Minnesota and Canada for hockey, as you know. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Olympics are wrapping up. Please support the final for the men. I know there was a lot of support for the women's game. Montreal. Feels like Montreal. Very strong team. Team Canada and Team USA, all the congratulations on a great game. Well played, good ladies. And don't forget, support your local minor hockey athlete, male or female. Volunteer, donate, appreciate. Follow them in the paper, follow them on media. Tell them thumbs up, and you'll tell them if it's a 12-year-old girl playing in net for your local team in Minnesota, tell her, you know, you're going to make that Olympics in 7 years and beat Canada. Set that a goal for them. Thanks for listening. Bye.